I've been DJing for quite a while now, for about 7, 8 years. Producing not so long, producing about a year and a half. Just kind of back in the day when I was DJing, I started doing from my parents' room, you know, typical stuff. But from parents' room to weddings to bar mitzvahs, and once I was like 15, 16, I'm like, hey, there's some money in this, you know. I started doing like local community college events, frat parties, you know. Started getting my name a little around with the local promoters a little bit, but I wasn't 21, I wasn't able to play in clubs or bars. And being from San Luis Obispo, small, really small little town, so everyone knows everyone, so there's like 4 or 5 DJs, and of course all the DJs had beef together, you know, so I really wasn't the kid that would go out there and be like, oh, I wanna be the Hollywood DJ, you know what I mean? Trying to break away from just being that bootleg guy was the hardest thing ever, you know, and now being able to prove that, hey, I can produce music, I can make the songs that people are bootlegging, you know, that just was just the next level for me, and I wanted to do that from the start. So if you really wanna be part of the scene and kind of the musical part, you know, go play festivals, get recognized, go out there and actually play your music and have people sing along to your music, start producing music, for sure. And for me, going out there and playing Tomorrow World, EDC, you know, Ultra, and people go, whoa, this kid can actually DJ, holy he's scratching, he's beat matching actually the right way, you know, like really quick 16-bar transition, 32-bar transitions, like really quick. They go, okay, well, we gotta find out more about this kid. Who is he? Like, what is he doing? And they go into my background. He used to play weddings. So it's cool. It's like one of those things, man, like I'm lucky to have the history that I have, being able to see a lot of DJs that actually can play. I mean, watching AM, I was just like, this guy's a shit, but I didn't know anyone else. I just thought AM was the guy. Because it used to be producers had to DJ to go play out. Now it's, you have to produce a DJ. And 4 or 5 years ago, that wasn't the case. Some of these guys, I mean, like Vice, for instance. Vice is one of the best DJs I've ever seen. And looking up to him and seeing these guys go play these big festivals and going, Vice would be murdering them right now. It just sucks. And you have to produce to become who you want to be in this industry. It's the only way I'm gonna get big, if I start producing music, because making edits and mashups only, you only can go so far. You know, for the longest time before this, everyone, even when I went to Ultra this year, no one knew I make the original songs until someone was like, whoa, you have that collab coming out with Hardwell. I thought you were just the mashup guy, you know? And now being able to prove that, hey, I can produce music. I can make the songs that people are bootlegging, you know? That just was just the next level for me, and I wanted to do that from the start. Just the drop. One of the drops, there's three drops in the track. So I sent him one of the drops, and he's like, wow, this is really cool. You know, send me some stems, we'll go back and forth via Skype. And one thing led to another. We finished the track in about a couple weeks and finished mixing and mastering on it, and he debuted it at Ultra this year in March. And it was one of the biggest tracks, and he's like, dude, this is like big, it's a big track. And I'm like, sick, let's get it out. You know, and at that time, it was kind of a waiting game because he had so much stuff coming out in Revealed, and Revealed's like one of the most professional labels you'll ever deal with. Like, Revealed is just like one of the best labels of all time. So being able to see that, and you know, it's professional. It was one of the easiest collabs I've ever done. It was everything worked, you know, perfectly. He did one part, I did another part. He sent me that back, I redid that part. He did that part, he did that. You know, it was perfect 50-50 split. I started with Pro Tools, and Pro Tools was the easiest. It looks the same as Logic. You know, everyone uses Ableton now. Even Hardwell, I think, uses Ableton now. But I use a virus, and that was one of the main leads on this, was the Access virus. Simple, like a percussion lead, and that's where I get the Congo lead. But I've always been into this new one. It's Showtech actually got me on this. This is what actually this lead comes from. It's called Morphix. It's made by Limplug. They do a synth called Sub-Boom Bass, a bunch of other ones, but this one to me is the best. I use this one lead for 2 drops, so I use it for this one. It's like the intro. And then on the second drop, you can start seeing the morph wheel switch, and it's going to a completely different sound. that's where I get that second drop from. It's just two different sounds. So if I go right here, it's two different sounds. So it's going A and B side. So this is B side B and this is side A. It's kind of like silent, but with silent you can't blend them together. So with this one, you're morphing it. So it's like you're morphing the sound, you know? I always recommend this thing too. It's called Smart Electronics. It's free, and it's just, I can see what it's doing. It's like opening up Serato, but you're not having to bounce it out. You can actually see what it's doing while you're working on the track. And then once I go to the second 8 bars, it comes back with the conga This simple loop I made, clap snare, it's nothing. Now with the countdown coming out, I did the track with a fan called Revolution that was on Dorn last month, and I think it just hit top 10. That one was different. That one was way different, you know, and I had support from Thomas Gold, Axwell, Calvin Harris. I mean, the dudes that don't really support my stuff, and they supported my stuff on this because I feel like it was different, you know, and it was one of those tracks that just a driving bass line, you know, the kick was there, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't that hard style kick. And it was just different, you know, it was just more of a kind of atmosphere sound, a lot of like, I actually stole a sample from Daft Punk. It was called Revolution 909. I stole that vocal, added that in there, and it was kind of a dark feel. So it was just different, and I feel like people weren't expecting that. 909. That's me, because I needed something to cover my vocal, so it wouldn't be copyright written. So
Revolution 909.
Just covers it, so you can't Shazam it. So that's where, if you want to do that, if you want to clear vocals, just go over it with your own voice. Hey, this is MAKJ, and you're watching DJ City TV.